Paltrocast.
How's your day going aside from having to wake up early to do press?
It's not too early. It's 9 a.m. So,
That's
um,
early.
yeah, I do have a few. I normally have a few days sleeping in straight after I get home from tour, but yeah, I'm well rested, so I'm up doing stuff this morning. It's a nice day. The rain's finally stopped here. And what time is it where you are?
It is 6 p.m., the time when you start to unwind, and
Yeah,
my day is ending, your day is starting. How's it? Sound about right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's on.
So we were connected because you have a big US tour coming up. Although a big US tour, though, these venues are like 1/10 the size of what you're used to playing in Australia and other countries. How does it feel in a way to know that you have to kind of scale back for the Americans, dumb down a little bit for the Americans?
Well, I don't think the show gets dumbed down at all. Yeah, we definitely sort of just it feels normal and feels the same to us, whether we're playing to 1,000 people or 5,000 people. But to be honest, the shows are sort of creeping up there in the US. You know, we're playing a 1,200 cap in San Fran, and there's some 2,000 cap in Montreal. So like that's pretty similar to what we just kicking around Aussie doing recently, which is cool.
Yeah, the venue that you're playing in New York called Irving Plaza, it holds 1,500 to 2,000 people, but it's actually one of the venues when superstars want to play that little show
Yeah,
to
right.
make fans excited, like Green Day and the Foo Fighters and the Chili Peppers and the Who, all
Yeah.
these legendary bands did little shows there. How much experience do you have with the States besides playing a couple of festivals?
We've got quite a bit of experience. We've been coming over the States and Canada for a bunch of years now, and just kind of hitting the same spots and trying to get our name out there and get noticed. It's a completely different market to Australia, and it's something that we want to try and crack into and just get our name and get our music out there more. So we came over, and the first shows we were playing were like to a few hundred people, if that, really. I'm sure some of the shows that didn't perform as well with the tickets were way less than that. But yeah, we're stoked that now we're back here doing some proper numbers, which is really cool. We're really happy with that.
Yeah, TikTok changed things. I mean, you were already very successful. TikTok kind of multiplied that in the best of ways. When TikTok first came out, I personally was scared because I just thought, okay, people are doing dance videos. I didn't realize there was going to be a platform for music discovery. When did you kind of see that people were finding some of their new favorite bands from TikTok?
Yeah, it's a crazy world these days that there's a lot of people that get their news and get their music and get so many other things from social media, which we didn't think was going to happen long ago. But yeah, I'm the same. I kind of don't get the TikTok thing, and I thought it was just like, yeah, like you said, people just dancing and whatever. But it's kind of out of our control, and we kind of like that. We have a connection to the song in the fact that we wrote it, and we've come to intimately know it by playing it over and over again. But it's out there in the world, and if people want to do what they want to do with it and enjoy it in any way they want to, they can feel free to do so.
Do you know how the whole thing started with Confidence on TikTok? Was it just one fan, or is it a creative record label person?
We have we did take a bit of a dive into that, trying to figure that out. And from what we could come up with, it was one fan that sort of started it, and it snowballed from there. And from the research that we kind of did looking around, it seemed like they just did it just for fun and for no particular reason. And it really did just latch on and have that sort of true viral moment where it just sort of escapes everyone and no one really knows why it's happening.
Did that change where in the set list the song Confidence goes?
Nah, I can say that didn't really have much of an effect on our shows at all, really. Except maybe there are a few more people there who bought tickets because they heard about us on TikTok.
So, what does the set list look like these days? I say that because when you have two albums, you go, okay, so we're going to play almost the whole set of albums minus 4 songs, and we'll put in a cover. And then once you're up to 4 or 5 or 6 albums, you realize there's only time to really do 2 or 3 songs per album. So now you're kind of either the youngest veteran band on the planet or the oldest young person band. You don't know which one it is.
Yeah, I feel like we're still the oldest young person band, to be honest. But we'll make the switch one day, I hope. Um, yeah, we sort of just structure our live sets with the songs that we like to play and the songs that we know the audience wants to listen to. So they're the ones that kind of make it into the pool of songs that we choose from. And then from there, we just kind of try and structure the show like we structure a record, having, you know, a strong opening, something that captivates people's attention, and sort of following that on with some similar songs, and then flipping the mood at one point and, you know, captivating and sort of holding people's attention by doing that and switching to other songs. Confidence kind of sits sort of in the middle to the end. We used to just finish on that when that first came out, and that was sort of our finale. But we've reined it back in the middle now, and we don't want it to steal all the limelight. So, and we're lucky that being fully independent, all of these decisions are up to us. So, you know, we just do what we feel like doing.
So this is not a segue question. This is a
Yeah.
curiosity thing. What made you want to play guitar in the first place?
I'm not exactly sure what made me want to play guitar in the first place. I was in primary school, and I think my parents must have encouraged me to learn an instrument, like a lot of parents do. And I guess I chose guitar. So maybe I thought it was a cool instrument rather than a less cool instrument like the violin, although I think violins are pretty cool.
Yeah, you can do cool things with the violin. It's in the mind, but
To be honest, if I had my time again, I would choose a cool instrument, probably like some kind of horn, I reckon, to learn.
wow. But in terms of guitar, wasn't a particular song or music video that made you want to pick it up?
No, I think I was quite young then. So that was sort of before my, you know, musical puberty and my musical enlightenment, you know, when you when you actually sort of start understanding music as art, and rather than just listening to what you just hear around you as a, you know, primary school student.
So you kind of break all the stereotypes, because usually it's, oh yeah, I started off as a metal kid and then I got into what I'm playing for a living. So there was no metal phase, there was no
Well, there
MT.
was actually
Oh,
there was plenty of phases, but the whole time I had learned to play guitar before then and was doing lessons, um, still learning the basics. But there were phases. There was the metal, there was the hardcore phase, there was the hip hop phase, there was the synth music, electronic music phase, and now we're back at old faithful rock and roll.
got it. Did you veer into bass and learning all the other instruments as well?
No, not quite. Mucked around on keyboards and synthesizers and that. But yeah, I mean that was sort of just when I was leaving high school, and there was a lot of free to use you know, music making software, albeit in its infancy compared to what it is today. But I remember mucking around with that and with some of the other guys, and yeah, just exploring music. And I guess all of that led to where we are now, and the culmination is we're in a rock band together. So yeah.
So the tour that we started talking about in the States is like 3 months or so away. Is that the end of the album cycle? Do you then after that start looking towards new music?
Yeah, that's correct. We've sort of just started writing some new music and sort of starting that process. So that's early days, but you know, that's on its way. So we won't be playing any of that stuff. Obviously, it's nowhere near finished on this run, but yeah, this will be the last time for the low altitude living record run. And next time we're in the States, we're hoping to have some fresh music for everyone.
When Ocean Alley is making an album, do you write dozens upon dozens of songs and then pare it down? Or is it more of a case of there's 12 songs on the album, so we really made 12 songs?
Yeah, it's probably the latter for sure. And we would end up writing maybe 14 songs and choosing 12, or 16 songs and choosing 12 or 13. Yeah, I think we're just not really we don't like to be songwriting machines or robots. We really just like to have each of our ideas sort of focused on and grown slowly and naturally like that. Yeah.
Hmm. When you start a riff, it doesn't make the album. Does it just get thrown away, or do you have like a posthumous box set in the works?
Yeah, we keep the good ones around. There's not a lot that's recorded or written down. So if you can remember an old riff or something, we have used that in the past. We find that's when the inevitable comes and you're struggling to write a bridge for the
Yeah.
verse and chorus that you have. It's saved us a couple of times just ripping back into some old riffs that we used to sort of jam on. And yeah, I can't remember specifically what song that worked on, but we have done that in the past for sure.
Do you have a creative outlet outside of music?
A lot of us are surfers, so I could consider that a creative outlet as well.
Yeah.
And a few of us, we're keen. We like to get outdoors, fishing and all of that kind of stuff, and riding motorbikes when we can. And Nick's does some motorbike races. So yeah, I guess that's how we unwind. I used to do photography in school and university. Don't do so much of it anymore, landscape photography. But yeah, we've all sort of got our own kind of genres and like styles of things that we like in music, and it works when we bring it all together.
Wow. Sounds like the opposite of most bands that I speak with. There's usually the golf guy in the band.
Yeah,
There's the person who finds the craft brewery in every city and winds up there. Then there's the coffee person who winds up there. And then there's the yoga person. I didn't hear any of those for Ocean Alley.
oh no, we're into our craft beer. Where some of us are into our yoga these days. And we have just started playing golf, which is a fun activity to do it with your time off when you're on tour. But we definitely don't take ourselves too seriously. We do love exploring new cities and ending up there, but we enjoy spending heaps of time with each other on tour as well, which is great.
So there is the golf, craft beer, yoga contingencies within Ocean Alley. That's what I just learned. But we
Yeah,
can't tell who they are. That's a secret.
yeah, that's definitely a secret. But you'll figure that out when you see the bunch of people at the golf club or a bunch of people at the coffee shop. Yeah.
Fair. Well, two quick questions, and then I
Yes.
let you go. The first question is, yes, your guitar influences are kind of a secret because that happened organically. But what was the first album that you bought where you consciously said, I like this song, I want to be able to hear it anytime I want?
It was Neil Young music. I didn't buy it, but I took it from my dad's collection of CDs, and it was him with Old Man. And I remember that was one of the first songs that I sort of taught myself, after learning how to play guitar when I was in high school. So yeah.
So you started on the first three frets of the guitar.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm still down there on the first three frets. So that's my jam.
Well, a lot of people start with just the bar chord, and all they could do is the bar chord on the
Yeah,
top string, not the fifth string bar chord.
I was the other way around. I learned all these open chords first and then struggled to do the bar chord thing for a bit. But now we mostly playing bar chords up on stage.
You've grown. And the last question is, you're a touring musician for a career. What's the last concert that you went to for fun, not because you were going to guest on stage or you obligatory had to be there? What's the last tour that you went, I have to see this, and you did?
It may have been Parcels that were playing in Brisbane. And that was probably a year or two ago. Yeah.
So not a lot of concerts when you don't have to go to the concerts.
Nah, unless we're just sort of passing on by and something pops up. But I remember that was the last one that we made an event of going to, like that was a big night.
Nice. Well, Mitch, thank you for your time. Looking forward to that show at Irving Plaza here in New York. Looking forward to that new music when it's ready. But in the meantime, congrats in advance on another great US run.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for taking the time and asking the questions. And for all your listeners, we'll see you down at Irving Plaza in New York. So have a good night. Cheers.
Paltrocast.